going up against a team that you had beaten quite handily, but they were coming off a big win, so maybe they had their tails up a little bit. What do you take away from getting over them in this sort of fashion?
Look, they're going to get some teams now at the end of the season. So we take the win for sure. I think there's some lessons there for us as well. I thought, defensively there was some really poor play from us in the first half, and then we locked down and put in one of the best performances any team's done this year, I reckon, in that second half. So against some guys who can fill it up, and we saw that last week, and we saw that in the last Monday night against Melbourne, and we saw it in the first half. So there were some good signs from there.
It seemed like you guys were pressing up a lot, putting a lot of pressure on their guards. 34 points off turnovers, which I imagine would be one of the highest this season of any team. Given the dynamic guards that you have and the wings you have, is that something that you want to kind of keep encouraging your team to do?
I think we've been doing it for a lot of the season, and we did it last time we played Illawarra. We've done it the last couple of times we played Melbourne. Sometimes it works. Sometimes you can really get into the heads of the opposition and create those turnovers and create easy offense for yourself. And sometimes you get slayed and get in foul trouble. And the majority of times, I think that we've gone in and really put good pressure in the backcourt. We've been successful.
Looked like you got some good early minutes from guys like Junior, guys like Grant. Not just the kind of garbage time, but quality minutes in the first, second, and third. What does that give your team, as we kind of get closer to the playoffs and you can give minutes to those guys?
Yeah, I mean, those guys have, they're rookies to the league. They got a lot of opportunities in the pre-season matches, and the first 5 games of the year when we had some injuries, especially Junior. And there was some things we took away from the pre-season, the start of the season that Owen Foxwell, Junior Madut, Grant needed to go work on. And we've worked with them diligently at practice to try and get some things right. I feel a level of comfort that we've eliminated some of those issues. They were all on court. They were all things that, from a defensive standpoint, that we needed. They need experience. And I feel like, as the season's worn on, especially at practice, those guys are really starting to show the consistency there. So you've got to reward that consistency at practice. And also, it'd be nice to get Creaky some minutes on the bench. This bloke can get a bit of a rest as well. And, Trey was obviously labouring a little bit with his ankle tonight, so it opened up some more opportunity for Junior. So, yeah, it's just their growth as professional athletes that we've seen, and it was rewarded.
On that same topic, bench points has been a bit of an issue in recent times. I know you don't always rate the quality of bench points, I get that, but still, it was 42-18 tonight. It must be something nice to sort of...
Yeah. Look, our bench has been pretty productive, regardless of points. And I think it was last time we might have played these guys. Junior Madut had 2 points and Ruben had 0, and they were both plus 30s in the on-off. So we've got a really deep scoring rosters, particularly in our starting 5. And those guys don't necessarily see the ball as much as we need them to when they're starting in with the other starters. So when we start to get some rotations, now we can start to look to get Trey Kell more touches, or we can look to go inside the source a little bit more. And it just works out that way. We've got some elite players in that starting 5 that need the ball in their hands. So when those guys come in off the bench, sometimes it's their job to just facilitate.
You were tested quite. I mean, that first half was pretty tight affair. They tied the scores quite a few times. I mean, how pleasing when you look at the final score just to see your team go to that next level and just blow an opposition away like that must have been pretty pleasing as well. Yeah.
No, it was a pretty impressive defensive. Just going back to maybe like the last 2 minutes of the first half, I thought we started to lock in. Now I think we had four stops in a row, and then I don't know how many we started the second or the third quarter off with, but I know we've got the first 4 and it may have been 5, and I don't know how many it was, but I thought we did a pretty good job. Maybe they had 3 points in 6 or 7 minutes there, so it's good to see the guys lock in, and then there was no let up when guys came into the game, and that's what we want to see, and it was great to see Junior and Grant come in, and there was absolutely no let up at that end.
Ryan, it looked like, outside looking, it looked like it's probably your best game of the season. Did you agree with that, and how did you feel out there tonight?
Look, I felt pretty good. Feel like I'm moving around and obviously having a bit of an interrupted pre-season. Finding finding legs, finding lungs, a rhythm offensively. I think we have so many weapons that, some nights it's my turn to get some shots. Some nights it's other guys. We spread the load really well, and tonight was just able to work off guys. Obviously, they were double teaming Sauce down low and Creaky and leaving shooters, and we'll get some open shots early and just try to be aggressive tonight. I think it was more the defensive end that I was trying to work on and improve. I think we started the game slowly. I came up and had one on the first possession and a few breakdowns. So it was more so locking in defensively that I was more happy with in sort of the second quarter and the second half.
Mentioning interrupt to start to the year, do you feel now, like with going to the second half of the season, do you feel like you're really sort of ready to go now, like all your sort of issues are behind you?
Yeah, definitely feeling a good space. Just being able to have some continuity with the team, and that's everybody. I think as a team we start off a little slow and guys in and out. So once we get everyone together and Joe Chi coming back tonight, it's good to have the squad together and build some chemistry. And games like this, being able to rotate because of foul trouble early and see the confidence in the young guys and you guys coming in to fill roles and play them really well, and it's just going to help us down the line because you never know what happens with fouls, with injuries, with stuff. But we're in a good space, and we need to just build off this momentum going forward.
Now, on 4 of your last 5, you're sort of clawing away the gap between you and the top 2. Is it amongst the players? Can you sort of feel the confidence sort of building as you head into the second half of the season? Yeah,
we felt it building, and then we laid a bit of an egg in New Zealand. So we understand that we can be really good when we're on, but we're just going to have that consistency and make sure we're locked in each and every game. It's going to be a tight race going forward, and wins like this are going to help us, not just for the win, but for the point differential. It's going to be really close. So big challenge, again, with Adelaide coming up this weekend that we need to turn our attention to.
Simon, how happy are you to see Joe Chi back in the lineup? I know he only played limited minutes, but first game back for a while. How happy are you?
Yeah, I thought he was pretty good. When he first came out, I wasn't overly impressed with some of the defensive efforts. He's looking after his lungs. He doesn't have his fitness. His hands were down. He wasn't, having any impact at the rim. But as the game wore on and he felt a little bit more rhythm, I really saw some changes there that he made, which I was really pleased with. And, it's going to be, we've got to be patient with Joe. He's had a pretty hectic time of it this year and since the international games. But the upside is huge with him. I mean, I hate to think people forget how darn good he is and how much he can change a game at the defensive end around the rim. And we saw some glimpses there tonight. It was like, as a friendly reminder of just how commanding he can be.
You sort of, on that, you combine him with Alan Williams, who's one of the informed centres of the league. It's sort of tantalising, isn't it, for those two to produce in the back half of the year?
Yeah, for sure. I think Alan's been a little overlooked. I thought he was amazing tonight too. Early in the game, Rowdy got going and Gary got going and Craigie had a couple, and he was really deferring to other guys while still playing well. I thought some of his part when we was like, well, it's time to get Sauce going. He got a bucket, but then he was still finding guys. Junior on that great back cut, and he just celebrates his teammates' successes so well, which makes him just as valuable, when he's not scoring. And he had a double in barely half a game, and 4 dimes as well. So he's a high-level player, a high-level human being, and we're really lucky to have him.
Coach, I know Gary returned to the game. I know Creaky had a little fall as well. Are there any concerns about any of those things, or they were just little niggles at the time?
I think Gary was okay. I'm a little worried about Creaky there for a bit, but he's pretty tough. He's got so many things going on in regards to his body that it's just throw it in the line, throw it in the queue. It's just another thing. So Trey was probably the one where we're probably really careful with tonight. He just tweaked the ankle again, and he had the foul trouble. So I was like, let's get somebody else some opportunity tonight.
We've asked a bunch of other guys who sat here this sort of question, but the offensive firepower of this team is unreal, and it seems like you guys are playing with a lot of joy. What's it like for you to be out there with this group of guys? So many guys you can throw the ball to, you can create advantages, and maybe you're a bit more open than you ordinarily would be on another team. What's it like playing with this group?
Yeah, it's good fun. We've got a little bit of everything. Obviously Gary and Trey being able to score and create. Me being able to spread the floor and open things up for them. Creaky and Sauce inside, or Creaky inside and outside. It's a tough matchup. There's so much different skill sets that really work well together, and teams have to kind of pick their poison, what they want to take away, what they want to focus on. And as I said, some games it'll be me getting some more shots. Some games it's Creaky getting open lanes. Sometimes it's Sauce playing one-on-one. So they tried to take Sauce out tonight by sending doubles and forcing us to shoot from the outside. And luckily we were able to shoot a pretty high percentage tonight. But that just sort of fills us with confidence that we've got that unselfish team that if it's not our night, at least we are able to help the others get going and spread the load.
It was a pretty physical game tonight. You were involved in a bit of a collision with Matt Yang. And what was the sort of vibe out there? Was there something particular that happened, or was it just one of those games?
Frankston came out there for a second.
People keep telling me I want to see more of it. Just a rush of blood to the head, and stood up, and Creaky saved me from making a fool of myself, which was good. But look, we chatted after the game and hugged and just sort of said we're all good. Like, things happen during the game. I am just getting sick of copping elbows and shoulders to the face. Seems to be a common occurrence for me. I don't know what I've done or why I'm putting my head in the wrong spaces. But look, it's a physical game. Both teams came out, especially in the first half, determined to impose their will and get the game on their terms. And two teams that want to win. That's all it is. Just a competitive nature. Once the game's over, we shake hands. We're all good. But once you're on the court, it's you want to win. You're competing and not trying to take a step back to anybody.
Would you like the refs to sort of see those little hits that you're copying a bit better and maybe look after a bit better? Or?
No, I think they've done a pretty good job. I've got some. Thank you.
Put a helmet on him.
When I have copped some errant stuff, they've pulled it up and seen it and done a good job of making sure it doesn't lead to anything more. And it's just part of basketball, and I'll keep sticking my head in while I can and deal with the consequences later. But it just sometimes things happen in basketball. Sometimes you're just chasing over a screen, and players are trying to get players open and things fly, and we're tall, lanky, unathletic, uncoordinated people, so things happen.
The Trey ankle tweak you spoke about, that's the one that happened in warm-ups, or is there something before that we...
I wasn't out for warm-ups. I did hear some sort of murmurs that he tweaked it in warm-ups, so yeah.
Are you hoping he'll be right for the next game, or is it...
No, I hope he's missing.
So let me rephrase that.
Sorry, let me answer it. Yeah, sorry, I'm being a pest. Yeah, look, he'll be okay. Yeah, we've got 2 days. We've got some great medical staff here, and I'm sure we could have put him out there. He looked like he had a little bit of discomfort, but it didn't look like it was anything we're overly concerned. It wasn't the ankle that he hurt in New Zealand, so that was a good thing.
Nothing on Zoom, so all good.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers. Jeez, someone tried to set me up with a referee question, didn't they?
I didn't say a word.